afternoon. Last lecture, we began with Black Cats, a short story by Edgar Allan Poe. And we reached to a certain point. We finished with the climax of the story. So, who can give me a summary to what we talked about last week or last lecture? Just a summary to the events, to the beginning, raising action, then the climax. Yes? How about the others? Yes, Mustafa.
It's a story about a person who was in prison and talk about himself, how he was love animals, and he was loving a black cat, and by step he hate this cat, and call it by hanging it in the rope.
Yes, call the cat by hanging.
Then he get another cat that
he brought another cat
that as the same as the
yes, similar to the
similar
first black
the
cat.
first black, and he was step by step hated another time because she remember him by the last crime
Yes,
of him.
remind him with his old sin, the first crime.
So he hated it another time, step by step, and decided to kill it. So when he wanted to kill it, his wife stand up between the cat and him. So he killed his by axe.
This is the climax of the story when he killed his wife, and of course he killed her not on purpose, not intentionally, but by fault or unfortunately you can say he killed his wife. Okay, who can read from page 25 this hideous murder? Yes, Khadija?
One day, she came home.
No. The second paragraph.
This hideous murder accomplished, I set myself forthwith, and with entire dedication to the task of concealing the body. I know that I couldn't remove it from the house, either by day or by night, without the risk of being observed by the neighbor.
Yes, thank you. So, he finished his crime, and now he is alone with the corpse of his wife, the body of his wife. So, he should bury the body, but he didn't know how to put a grave to her, neither in the day nor in the night, because whether in the day or in the night, the neighbors will see him when he wants to dig a grave for his wife. So, he should search for a grave inside the house. You see? And since he didn't plan for this crime, for this he didn't know what to do at the beginning. يعني بالعادة من مجرم مخطط جريمة معينة فهو كل شيء مخطط له شلون بالنهاية وين راح يودي الضحية. But now the narrator didn't know what to do because he didn't plan for this crime for that time. Okay, who can read? Yes? Yes, many projects.
Many projects entire my mind at one bird. I thought of cutting the corpus into
Mental fragments.
And destroying them by fire.
Yes, just a minute. So the first thought that came to his mind that he will cut the body into very small pieces and then burn them in fire. This is the first thought. Okay, complete.
At another, I resolved to dig a grave for it in the floor of the cellar. Again, I deliberated about casting
In the wall.
in the earth, about packing in a box as emergencies with the usual arrangement and so getting a porter to take it from the house. Finally, I hit upon what I considered a far better expedient than either of these. I determined
to wall it up in the cellar. Determined, not determined.
It's as the monks of the Middle Ages are recorded to have weighed up their victims.
Yes, thank you. So, then he thought that he can't put the body in a box, then take the books out. But again, he is afraid maybe the neighbors will see. Then he remembers something from the Middle Ages, that the monks at that time, they buried the victims in the wall. So he decided to put the body of his wife in the wall, to be as a grave to her. Yes?
Can we consider this criticism to the Middle Age
Yes, of course. We want to criticize the monks.
advice?
Yes, what they did at that time. For this, he narrates such a thing. So, then, now he decided where he should put the body of his wife. Okay, who can read for a purpose? Yes, Ajay?
For a purpose such as this, the cellar was well adapted. Its walls were loosely constructed and had lately been plastered throughout with a rough plaster, which the dampness of the atmosphere had prevented from hardening moreover. In one of the walls was projection caused by a false chimney or fireplace that had been filled up and made up to resemble the rest of the cellar. I made no doubt that I could readily displace the bricks at this point, insert the corpse and wall the whole up as before, so that no eye could detect anything suspicious.
Yes. Thank you. So, he decided to put the body in the wall, and really, he began to broken the wall, the bricks, and put the body. And then he rebuilt the wall to be similar to the old one. For this, no one can differentiate between the previous wall and the new one. And in this calculation, I wasn't deceived. By means of a crowbar, I easily dislodged the bricks, and having carefully disposed the body against the inner wall, I propped it in that position. While the little trouble, I relayed the whole structure as it originally stood. The originally structure mean the wall. إنه قرر يرجع مثل ما كان حتى ما حد يقدر يفرغ ويكتشف جريمته. I prepared a plaster which couldn't be distinguished from the old, and with this I very carefully went over the new brickwork. When I had finished, I felt satisfied that all was right. The wall didn't present the slightest appearance of having been disturbed. The rubbish on the floor was packed up with the miniskirt. I looked around triumphantly and said to myself, here at least then my labor has not been in vain. His labor mean
What he had done.
yes, what he had done mean his crimes. Now no one will discover his crime, whether the old one or the new one. For this, now he's happy, he finished his work, now he can rest. Have a moment of relaxation. Okay, who can read? My next step, yes.
My next step was a look for the best which had been, because of so much wretchedness, for I had lived firmly resolved in that to death, have been not doubted of this fact, but appreciated that carefully animal had been errant
Alarm.
at the violence
At
of
the
my
violence of my previous
anger, and forward to present itself in my present mood. It is impossible to describe or imagine the the blissful sense of relief which is the base of the deity's creator
occasion in my
bosom.
Okay, thank you. So, he began to search about the black cat, the second black cat. Okay, he called his wife, now he hid his crime. So how about the black cat? He wanted to call the black cat, but he called his wife. So where is the black cat? The black cat disappeared. No one knows where is the black cat now. So he didn't care. Okay, the black cat disappeared, but he cannot forget this moment. He wants to live in this moment forever. For this he called this moment a blissful sense of relief, which is the absence of the dictator's creature. Meaning he refers to the black cat. For this, he didn't want to interrupt or disturb this moment. He wanted to live in this moment forever. Why? Do you remember his speech? He said that he cannot see any rest neither in the day nor in the night. And even in the night when he went for sleeping, he saw what? Nightmares. So now he became in peace. Peace moment. كأنما صار بلحظات سلام. لذلك يريد يكمل بيه. The second and the third day passed, and still my tormentor came not. So, you see, at the beginning, he described the second black cat as a beast. That's mean monster. Well, the cat is domestic pet. Now, he said that my tormentor, that means the one who tortured me. So how is that a cat, animal, a domestic animal, tortured the narrator? So, in what way he tortured him? Since he, yes,
Because he remind him in the second,
Yes.
the first crime.
because he make him remember his old crime when he killed the first black cat. For this he called the second one as a tormentor for him. Once again I bred as a free man. The minister in terror had fled the premises forever. I should behold it in no more. My happiness was supreme. The guilt of my dog deed disturbed me but little. Some few inquiries have been made, but these have been readily answered. Even a search had been instituted, but of course nothing was to be discovered. I looked upon my future felicity as secure. So again, the word terror, underline this word. This word refers to what? for Gothic. So, his tormentor disappeared, meaning the cat. He cannot see the cat anymore. And he didn't want to disturb these moments. For this he said that, I can't see my future clearly. His future is secure, as if now he's saved. Saved from what? From the cats, this is the first thing, and from the police, since no one can discover his crime. For this he can see his future as a secured one. Okay, who can read upon the 4 days? Yes, Haida?
On the 4th day, the ascension about of a police come.
Association
Association
means the killing.
means very unexpectedly
A party of police came
into the house and proceeded again to make rigorous
rigorous investigation.
investigation of the premise.
Secure, however,
in the instructably of my place of compliment.
Okay, thank you. So, in the 4th day, mean after 4 days from his crime when he killed his wife, now his wife for 4 days disappeared, but no one knows that she's dead, not only disappeared. So, a party of police, meaning a group of police, came to his house to ask about his wife. They began to search in all of the house, and then they reached to this room. But he didn't afraid from what will happen to him, because he knew that no one can discover his crime. No one will think that the body in the wall. You see? So, he let the police do whatever they want, and they didn't find anything. So, they are about to leave the room. يعني هاي خلص شغلهم يردون يروحون. He called them. Gentlemen, I said at last, as the party stands at the steps, I delight to have allayed your suspicions. I wish you all health and a little more courtesy. By the by, gentlemen, this is a very well-constructed house. So he wanted to say something, for this he hesitated. He said this, then there is a hyphen, meaning he hesitated. Then he said, this is a well-constructed house. So the police didn't care, okay, well-constructed or not. They didn't care for such a thing. But he says, this house is well-constructed. This wall is well-constructed. Then he took what? He took a cane, mean a stick, but a heavy stick, and knocked the wall, but he knocked the wall heavily, as if he hit the wall. And what do you think? What will happen? Yes, the wall broken and the body appeared. But when he hit the wall, he heard something. There is a strange voice. For this, there is, we can say, a silent moment, or moment of silence. Then they decided to discover what is that voice. As if the voice led them to discover the crime. So, these walls are you going? So he would try to say something about the walls, and he saw the police about to leave. Are you going, gentlemen? These walls are solidly put together, and here, through the mere frenzy of bravado, I rapped heavily with the cane which I held in my hand. Upon that very portion of the brickwork behind, which is the corpus of the of the wife of my bosom. But may God shield and deliver me for the fangs of the arch-fiend. No sooner had the reverberation of my blows sunk into silence then I was answered by a voice from within the tomb, by a cry, at first muffled and broken, like the sobbing of a child, and then quickly swelling into one long loud and continuous scream, utterly nameless and inhuman, a howl, a wailing shriek, half of horror and half of triumph, such as might have arisen early out of hell, conjointly from the throats of the demon in the agony and of the demons that exult in the damnation. So, here he described the second black cat. Okay, there is a strange voice, and then when they listen to the voice, they discover it belongs to animal, unhuman. So the voice belonged to animal. Then there is a black cat behind the body of his wife, and the head and the locks, eyes locks of the black cat, parts of them in horror and the other in triumph. يعني جزء منها خايفة from what happened, and the other one as if a triumph, as if won the world, منتصرة. See? And this is led to his end. And this way, the police discovered the body, and of course, who killed the wife? Her husband. So again, the horror is very important. Howl, cry. The words in this paragraph again refer to Gothic elements. Then, in the last paragraph, he said that out of what happened, he is faint, and when he awake, he found himself in the prison. Of course, the police took him to the prison, and he decided to narrate what happened with him to others before his execution. يعني قبل الإعدام. This is the end of this story. So, who led to the discovery of the body or the corpse of his wife? The narrator himself. The police didn't ask him about the house. Why you go and say this well-constructed house, this well-constructed wall, and try to prove that well-constructed? This opened to us a very important topic, اللي هو psychoanalytic or analysis. I told you from the beginning, we can analyze this story according to what? To psychological point of view, especially Freud's theory. لكم ماخذين فرويد العام. You remember his ID, ego and superego? اللي هن الايدي الهو او الهو، ego الانا، والسوبر ego الانا العليا. So this is very important to analyze this story. So next lecture I want you to prepare this to me, how to analyze this story from psychological point of view. And put this in your mind, you should search about Freud's theory, ID, ego, and superego. Let's, try to make it as if an essay in your preparation, not only to give it to me orally, but I want it written. Okay. Now we know the beginning of the story, the raising action, and the end. Then the climax, the filling action, and the end. This is for what? For the plot of the story. The setting in the prison, and about the structure. Here, the narrator used what? Used a technique called flashback. Flashback when you want to talk about something happened in the past, to remember something in the past. All of you know this technique very well. Most of the series and movies depend on this technique. أكيد كلكم شايفين بالأفلام والمسلسلات إنه يكون مثلا مر 20 سنة قام يمرون 20 سنة بعدين يذكرون إيش صار بيه. And all the time, what they remember, they try to make it different from the present by colors. Using either black and white or colors not similar to the present. يعني يفتحون الألوان حتى تبين إنه نسخة قديمة هيك يعني. This is the flashback. When you want to say something happened in the past and now you are the present. Now, when you want to speak with your friend about what happened yesterday, again, this is a flashback. You remember something. بس شو نسميه هنا ماضي قريب أو يستخدمون الماضي البعيد. So, this technique, flashback, very important in literature generally. And you will see it not only in short stories, but also novels and sometimes drama. This is concerning this attraction. I told you again from the beginning, this short story considered as a Gothic. Who can tell me why we consider this short story as a Gothic? Have many elements in this short story referred to Gothic. Yes, Khadija? Yes, violence. Yes, what else? Yes.
It contains two crimes.
Yes, crimes.
And the suffering of the writer itself.
Yeah.
So he always suffering from terror and describe himself in misery.
The words.
Terrible.
If you return to the beginning of this story, you will see many words that I told you to underline them. All of these words refer to Gothic. From the beginning, he said that he's about to be executed the next day. So why? This is raise the suspense. Then he used the word terrified, death, horror, terror, then gallows. He by using penknife, he cuts one eye of the first black cat, meaning Blotto. So all of these things considered as Gothic elements. All of these things I want you to prepare at next lecture, but I want to give you a hints or keywords to search about them. Okay, what do you think? What is the name of the narrator? We know the name of the first black cat, Blotto. But how about the narrator who narrates this story? First person narrator, we know that. But what is his name? All of us now? Her name. Okay, what is the name of the narrator in this story? Yes? No. Edgar Allan Poe, the author, who wrote this story. How about the one who tried to write his story? I mean, how he called the cats and... Okay, Khadija.
Unnamed.
Yes, unnamed narrator, nameless. Here, Edgar intentionally put the narrator nameless or without name. يعني هو متعمد خلانا الشخص اللي قاعد يقص لنا هاي القصة بدون اسم. Because he wants to say that this character is universal and any one of us can do such a thing. His persona can be changed and do such a thing. Okay, what do you think? There is a reason, a real reason that led him to do such a thing? He only gives us one reason, alcoholism, then his crime began, one by one. يعني معقولة بس الكحول هو اللي خلاه يسوي كل هذا؟ Yes, how about others? Yes?
He's mad.
Yes. maybe he's mad. Yes, at the beginning he said that I am not mad. Okay, when you will read about my acts, you will see that I am mad. But let me tell you that I am not a mad person. But what do you think? Really he's not mad or maybe? It's maybe. Maybe mad, maybe not. احنا ما نقدر ناخذ كلامه على المحمل الجاي. Why? Out of what happened with him, he didn't have any reason, any rational reason, يعني ما عنده أي سبب منطقي that led him to do such a thing. Okay, when at the first time when he cut one eye from Pluto, he did it unconsciously. Sorry, he did it unconsciously. Why? Because he's intoxicated. Okay, how about when he hung the cat? Why he hung the cat? Okay, how about his second crime? How about when he decided to hide the
body of his dead wife?
All of these things are important. Let us end our lecture at this point, and the next lecture we will complete about criticism and literary appreciation about this short story. And don't forget your homework. Try to write an essay about this story from psychological point of view or psychoanalytic. And you can find an essay, very important essay in internet. Try to read it. Don't depend on the haphazardly information that's on the internet. يعني لا تعتمدون على المواقع العشوائية بالناس. حاولوا تاخذوكم مصدر موثوق تقرون عنه. And inshallah I will explain this to you next lecture after reading your essays. And don't forget the idea of Gothic and prepare to me the themes, samples, and these things. Next lecture, inshallah, we'll talk about them. Thank you.